Greetings, you fellow loyal subjects of our most benevolent overlords, and welcome back to Stellaris with me, Lathrix, and of course, welcome to the 3.4 patch and the Overlord DLC. In today's video, we'll be doing our newest full playthrough using one of the new origins. There's 5 of us to choose from in the future, but right now, we're going with this one. Our first endeavour beyond our home planet was a painful one, subjugated by and subjected to the whims of a foreign galactic power. Now we are looking towards a future, far off as it might be, in which we no longer have to live in the shadow of another empire. We start as a vassal of an advanced AI empire, and most importantly, we get to choose a specialist empire vassal type at the start of the game. And we are going with the technological vassal type. So this one will have massive negatives for our military, etc., but will increase our research output, even if we do have to tie the percentage of that to our benevolent overlord, our protector. For we are the Cobarian Council, heralding from Cobaria itself. Our elite are here because they have contributed to society in the form of scientific advancement. All we care about is scientific advancement itself, getting as much technology as possible, and achieving societal goals through this means. So when we found an empire right next to us, which had such technologies that even our most advanced methods couldn't decipher them, we willingly accepted becoming their vassal, for we have much to learn. And as long as they stay our betters in terms of their technological prowess, we will stay their loyal subject, forever wanting to learn from our new benevolent teachers. Of course, if they were to slip up and our scientific rush method were to advance theirs, there might be problems. So to this end, the Council are fanatic materialists. They are authoritarian. I was going to go with egalitarian, but we've done this combo so many times. So instead, authoritarian. We have the elite of our scientific community, and we do have a police state, because ultimately, order is needed for our scientific progress. As long as everyone is thinking the same thing and going for the same goals, we can have some amazing achievements. Now, perhaps later we'll get a meritocracy, which kind of doesn't work in this theme, but we'll see how we feel later. But that is the Empire in a nutshell. Our species is intelligent, conservationists, and traditional. However, they're not much for moving around too much, and they are decadent. Everyone wants to be in the elite. So if you're a worker, you're not particularly happy. Now, originally I was going to make our world a desert world, and I've messed up and accidentally made it that, but now I'm thinking about it, I don't go with the cold worlds like ever. Let's go with an alpine world. I never go with those. The star name is Cobb. Okay, so the name was randomized, I just kind of liked it because Cobarian sounded fun to me, but now I'm realizing, is it Cobbarian? Like corn on the cob? Sure, it's a corn cob. We're going to go with the Technocrat.
The laws of science.
And our ships are going to be either Imperial or humanoid. Probably humanoid. Yeah, that seems to fit. Now for our flag, we are using one of the new Imperial sigils, although we are using, I believe it's just one of the older flag types there on the side. Finally, we've got some more colours here, which makes me very happy. And that is it. So with that, let's get into the settings. So I want to go back to my normal default setting of AI empires. Everything else is going to be our usual. So an end game, which is 100 years early. Difficulties on max, scaling's on high. Apparently the AI is a lot better than it used to be. A lot of people have confirmed this, so I am really looking forward to that. So let's go, and let's find our new lords and masters. Hey everyone, a future Lathrix here. So as is tradition, I'm here at the start of the video just to say that these videos take an immense amount of time to put together in terms of editing and just gathering the raw footage. I have been recording this for last week whilst also caring for a sick fiance and getting sick myself in the process, and it was an absolute trial, but thankfully this was a very fun video to record indeed, and definitely stick around until the end because seeing the galaxy come together in the way it does near the end was honestly weirdly heartwarming. This goes from being brutal to heartwarming near the end, and it's bizarre. Now, before we do get into the video, I do need to say that yes, this patch and the DLC was very buggy upon release, and I was playing it very, very quickly after the game was released, and the bugs will be visible throughout. It was pretty bad. Elephant in the Room, it was very bad, and a lot of the bugs I have kept in, and a lot of the bugs I've edited out, because a lot of them were just minor nuisances I just worked around, but then there was one where I declared war on my own vassal. Twice, and once on myself. It's in the video, and it was at least very fun to see. Thankfully, there has now been a patch, which has made things significantly better. But yeah, bugs beware. Still, had loads of fun recording this. The new hyper relays are my new favourite thing ever, and this origin is incredibly powerful. Hopefully, it'll be nerfed in the future, but until then, we get to see an Overlord who acts as a minion. Please enjoy the video, likes and comments help loads, and now I'll get some sleep after editing for 10 hours straight. Goodbye. And so, we begin. Quite far away from our... Oh, the perfect species! I love you! Lovely. I love these two so much. So I love this portrait so much because it looks like they're in pain, and at the same time they're adorable. Okay. Welcome, dear newfound allies. We felt it was only right to contact you now that you have chosen to partake in our alliance. It pleases us to see you choose reason rather than forcing our hands toward violence. So they are xenophiles, militarist, and materialist. An empire that relies heavily upon their vassals, rarely interested in much beyond their home systems. They do not engage others in combat nor actively expand their own borders unless forced to, and they're starting off on a Gaia world. Oh, they're like a mini precursor. No, a mini fallen empire. Okay. Celorum? Celorum. Bob. You didn't give us much of a choice, did you? Was there something you wanted to talk to us about? Or, we are proud to be part of your alliance. We are proud to be part of your alliance. And we are proud to welcome you. Ah, they're talking to us like we're just idiot children. After careful consideration, we have decided to invest a significant amount of resource into helping you specialize your empire. It will enable your empire to play an important role in the future of all of our friends and allies. We were not entirely sure about what your people would be more comfortable with, however. A militarized specialization, a scholarly one, or are you more interested in materials and minerals? Now, I have increased the UI size, and I'm realizing it's actually making it worse for my dyslexia. I don't know why. But, yeah, anyway. How do you want to respond? Okay, so, military, pay an influence tithe for expanding, receive a fleet of destroyers. That's cool. That's not what we're going with. This is what we're going with. Receive a science ship and a scientist from the Empire. And receive 2 construction ships from the Empire. Okay, so they all have to pay a tithe. So this is about producing lots of materials, lots of science, lots of armies. Well, I am going to go with the science option for this one. Okay. Okay, that's us, looking rather dapper, I must say.
Incoming transmission.
If the beard was about here, it'd be my beard at this point. Okay, so... Oh, yeah, you have other minions, don't you? Oh, a fanatic spiritualist xenophobe and a fanatic militarist spiritualist. Oh, wow, we are not going to get on with your other friends. Well, I guess we are right now because, well, we have the same Overlord, I suppose. So, sure. It's quite a safe start, isn't it? I mean... Oh, yeah, a level 3 scientist to begin with. That's nice. Let's grab both our worlds as soon as possible, please. Thank you. And we have our own scientists as well, so you can get a head start there. This is actually a really nice starting position. Loads of choke points already. They're blocking the top entrance. Yeah, it's looking alright. I'm going to change the UI back on a side note. It's making me feel a little bit off for some reason. So, our goal then is to get as much science as possible. So, I know that we... Yeah, we do level up our vassal status later on to get more bonuses, and this is our current deals. So, integration, prohibition, prohibited, so it can't be integrated. Restricted voting, that's if we change our... Interesting, so we have to join any federation that the Overlord is a member of. We have to join the galactic community. And we have to follow their votes in the Federation and the Galactic community. Okay, that's really cool, actually. Having your vassals vote in the Galactic community for you now is really awesome. Okay. And then we can also negotiate terms. For instance, I could actually ask them to give me alloys. Based on how much I'm producing, or just basic resource. I could also do the same for tech, but obviously, that's not going to work with our vassal type. Okay. And currently, they are building something on one of my worlds. They are building an Overlord garrison. So I'll be right back once something more happens, and once I've changed the UI back. So a little bit later, and now we have the tier system. So currently we get plus 20% monthly research. Of course, we are losing 30%, so overall it's a negative. We get one extra research alternative. However, we have minus 30% navy capacity, military ship build cost, and military ship upkeep. Well, the upkeep and cost are increased, but you get the idea. It's a negative. We may get these random blobs of research. That I'm looking forward to seeing exactly how that works. The Overlord modifier gets extra scientific research plus 10%. Ah. I see why you'd want to be an Overlord right there. Just that alone, plus 10% research speed is fantastic. So planets within border every year has a 20% chance of giving us one of those caches. Those just give us some stored research. That could really, really skyrocket us early on. So tech is going to be everything, obviously, but I think I'm going to go even more heavy into tech than I originally thought I would. Okay, so this is definitely one of the abnormalities based on our vassal types. So we just need to have a look-see at this, and I think we'll get some research from it. It's all about life, so I assume society. Well, that was helpful, considering expanding is very expensive as a vassal, because, yeah, right now... Hello there. I always forget you have to go into contacts for this. Okay, so... yeah, right now, it is costing us to move around. There we are. Expansion regulated. The subject may expand their empire, but must pay an influence tithe to the Overlord when they build an outpost. Not that they actually care about expanding, apparently. Oh, and this type of Overlord, you can't actually change that. Not allowed for an Overlord of the feudal society civic, and this one is that type of empire. Okay, well, that's annoying. Few more years, or we can try and negotiate there. I doubt we'll get much, considering we're kind of at the limit already, but we'll see what happens. Don't commercial packs of it? With the Overlord? Why do I get so little? No. I could try and build research packs of everyone with the other vassals. That would be interesting, especially since I'm going to get loads of extra tech anyway from, like, these things. Maybe? And actually, I want you to turn around and grab that, please. Thank you. Okay, so we've got the cash, and yeah, it's giving us 2,000 physics. That's actually loads this early on. Yeah, if I keep on getting those, so I need more planets then, because it's all about that. Now, I have a desert and an ocean. Ice like us, ocean will be fine for you, and desert, perfect. Wait, not desert, what are you? I can't remember which one that is. Arid, yeah, perfect. So if I can get a migration pact with those two, not you. I actually don't know what type you are. Is it just... ah, Ocean and Gaia. Sure then. It doesn't matter which one of you. There we go. So we can grab the Ocean world and grab the Desert world, so we have some more worlds under our control nice and early. That's perfect. Okay, I just spent like 6 minutes messing around with this and explaining it badly, but with my very first negotiation, we've changed a few of the settings. So right now, we've changed this so that the Overlord pays us 15% of our alloy and consumer goods production, which is absurd already. So they're giving us alloys and consumer goods just for being their vassal. On top of that, we have changed our subject conflicts so that now, anytime we declare war, they have to declare war as well. They will join us in any fight. They are a super advanced start, not just a normal advanced start. They are stronger than a normal advanced start, I think. If not, if I'm incorrect there, it doesn't matter. They're still an advanced start. They're very, very powerful. If I find another empire soon, I can send them to get my claims for me. And they are paying us alloys and consumer goods. If I had more influence, I could have also got them to spend... oh yeah, I need influence. I could have also got them to give us 15% minerals and energy. But I didn't have the influence at the time, and I wanted to do this as soon as possible because all the other things are more important. So I'm now going to send off, for once, a scout vessel to find another empire to send the Overlord after it. If this works, this is really silly. If it doesn't work, it's okay too. Why do I have robots now? Oh, because of our migration agreement. Okay, that makes sense. Thank you, Overlords. Thanks to our many deals with the Holy Solarium Empire, we have been able to focus much of our efforts on building and improving the internal workings of our empire. With our scientists and engineers hard at work, we have seen our colonies blossom these last few years as things we would have thought a fantasy only a few years back have suddenly become not only real, but even commonplace. We've received news that our wardens in Holy Solarian Empire would like to see our latest progress in person, and potentially bring some of it back to their homeland. They are welcome, of course, giving us plus 3% to all research speed. Not research speed, just engineering research. I mean, that's not too much right now, since we're only now building our science buildings, but still great. And we have a new abnormal sensor reading, so I guess that's because I had a migration treaty with them, because that was with their deals. Only 3%, maybe if I had other deals, it would have been more. Now, I have found another empire over here, so I can now start expanding in towards them. As soon as our borders meet, I'm going to make a claim and then send our wardens off to battle. Oh, looks like another one of the empires has just jumped over. That's really annoying, so I do want that Alpine world. I'm moving this way because I want the borders closer there, but actually, no. Let's swap over. Yeah, I don't need to find other empires now. Let's go back to just surveying everything. Actually, first, can you go and grab that sensory stuff? I want to see if we get even more research. Stored research this early on is so lovely. This is interesting. A subject's duty. As the emissary is about to arrive from the Holy Empire, we have to decide how willing we are to share our latest designs and creations with our Overlord. It would surely be appreciated if we were to do so, but it could be that they will take more direct control of where we will focus our efforts moving forwards. Share it with our Overlord, nevertheless. Again, at this point, our Empire would trust them greatly. An engineering directive. We have received a directive from our Overlord. After they saw our designs and latest creations, it seems they want us to focus our efforts on engineering from now on.
System charted.
Will that do anything? Ah, plus 10% engineering research. Yes, please. For a very long time. We are now tier 2 with our vassal status, giving us plus 30% scientific research, which basically means now we're getting just equal. It says plus 1 both times, so I'm assuming it's still doing just plus 1. However, we get more research in the caches, which so far have been really plentiful and fantastic already, so good. Scientists gain 1 random trait. Investigator, Explorer, or Observer. One of them's plus 10% research speed, that's pretty crazy. Scientists in pool, plus 1. Transfer leader. Scientists with a trait can be traded with the Overlord. I can sell them leaders? Fascinating. Actually, I saw a load of weird trade ones, like borrow fleet, for instance. Is that only with your new Overlord? I can't remember. Either way, that's really cool. So I could transfer leaders now if I want to. Whoa, they're expensive. How strong are your fleets? Very strong compared with me. Oh, you need a lot, though. Okay, well, good to know. So how are our current leaders, then, is the question. Research speed plus 10. Anomaly speed plus... Okay, so you two need to be traded out. Any of our other scientists got... Oh, yeah, like you there. You should swap out immediately. Okay, so once the mission is done, you can swap out. That's research speed and research speed. Yeah, so we want another leader with one of these. Okay, I'll make sure to swap those out because that is a really good bonus. Knowers of the Shroud. Ah, visitor, welcome. We are the Knowers of the Shroud. Within this void-born hull, our coven communes with forces incomprehensible to most mortal minds. We contemplate the secrets that lie hidden in dreams, reservoirs of untapped potential, the unseen gears driving whole civilizations. The Shroud reveals much of those who would listen, or to those who would listen. At this moment, I listen to you. What brings you to us? Do you yet know? Can we have a teacher? It's expensive, innit? Mystery of the Shroud is a journey of 10,000 lifetimes. Even our most gifted teachers can claim only partial knowledge of its mysteries. Nevertheless, their wisdom is invaluable. Should you wish, we will dispatch one to guide your course. Oh, I would really like to know, though. I don't know what you guys do, but you look so cool. You're a floating rock of psychic power. Anything Shroud makes me happy, so this makes me very happy. What is our fate? We shall pay. Oh, what's that for influence? Ah, fine. Give me a teacher. To know that there is always more to know, there is the highest wisdom. So this is the highest wisdom. A teacher will be sent to you, learn well, and you will surely reap the rewards. Is it... Oh, actually, is it just a leader? I don't quite know how this works. I didn't read it properly. Nope. I thought maybe it'd be governor. Is it a decision or an edict? It is a decision. Unity from jobs plus 10%, amenities plus 5%, unity from telepaths plus 3. Oh, that's really cool. I mean, we don't really produce too much unity on this world, but we do produce some. I mean, also, the extra amenities are always welcome, so sure. Takes a long time to build, but sure. Let's put down the teacher in our homeworld. We wish to learn. Oh dear Overlord, please protect us from the foul empire of Ganvus Primus. I can't even say their name correctly.
Receiving transmission.
Oh, and because they've joined, our allies had to join as well, I think. No, or perhaps we're just seeing their sensors. There we go. They're sending their vessels off to claim the homeworld of our neighbour for me. For me! I love that. Now, I'm actually in a bit of a bind at the moment because I had to save up so much influence. I haven't been getting any space resources. It's why everything's kind of grew so slowly in our empire at the moment. But if we can get a homeworld and a home system, well, that's definitely worth it. Hopefully they make their way there quickly and smartly and not dumbly. I've been told the AI is better. Please be better. God, you're so much stronger. Oh, wow. They were your stats while in a system with a pulsar. Who the hell then? Glory. Oh, I thought you didn't want to expand your borders. It said so. You've definitely expanded your borders. Well, I'm very glad I've spawned over here then. Yeesh. So, our Overlord is just following me. Literally, it is. I'm not even using take point, and they're just, if I stop, they're just following me. That's all they're doing. So, I'm just going ahead. And the reason why I have this fleet is because I'm currently selling 40 alloys a month because they're paying me alloys every month. Now, science doesn't look that good, but I have stored science in every single science type right now. Ooh, 2 worlds. Could I climb that? That's going to be too expensive because we're already at war. Well, next time. I do have some ground forces, not many though. I was getting ready to take... there is a primitive civilization over here, but apparently the angry neighbours have taken it.
Engaging hostile fleets.
So thank you to the advanced start that are my overlords. We're going to... Look, I still have the fleets on the way. Yeah, we're going to crush this easily. Let's bombard the world for a bit and then take it over. And then I have 53 population increasing the size of my empire. I need some more basic resources. That's all I need. Wow, that took ages. Ah, where are you going? Well, the Overlord's being mean. Where are you going?
Receiving transmission.
Go back over there, you I felt so sure that the Overlords knew what they were doing, and now I remember they are just an AI. As soon as they let my fleet die, then they went here. And bombard? Fantastic. Okay. They got there in the end. Well, the war was pretty straightforward. They did eventually bombard the world enough that we took that world. So now we have... Oh, way too many star bases for a start. So I need to remove some of these. How do I have so many star bases? Did I do this? I think I just messed up. Either way, we have a new world. Loads of new population. It's going to be really bad for a while, but that'll soon fix itself as the devastation drops. And then we'll have a new world we can sort out. I have just claimed these 2 worlds of our other neighbour. Hello, other neighbour. And we've gone to war, so... Yeah, our Overlord will now go and fetch us another homeworld. Because I am the Overlord's special boy. Oh, cool. One of the new things. Yeah, okay, so rather than just revolting instantly, revolt brewing on our new world. The populace of the world has been discontent with our rule for some time now. Now their defiance is becoming even more brazen, and dissidents are openly calling for independence from the Primus. Show of authority may be necessary if we are able to keep control of the colony. Have to be dealt with. Start situation. Planetary revolt. Distribute amenities. Upkeep is very expensive, but plus 20 amenities. Institute crackdown. Oh, this is so much cooler than the other one. It's just like minor things and then suddenly complete rebellion. Brewing troubles. This is stage activity. 0 to... Okay, 0 to 25. Low stability is causing this. Less stability, less stability, less stability. And then, boom. We'll declare independence from the council. Oh, that is so much cooler. I mean, stability is increasing by itself. Solar amenities. But the just plus 20 is just like, yeah, just plus 20 would instantly fix that. So for now, sure. I can always swap back later. Okay. There we go. So that by itself is already settling things. Yeah, and the housing crisis is about to solve itself as devastation drops. Love that. I love this new system. I was actually looking forward to seeing one of these situations. Didn't think it'd be such a negative one for our first one, but I'm still very happy with that. We really need more minerals, don't we? Yeah, why are you so obsessed with food? Let's replace some of those with mining districts. Just buy 1,000 of that. There are so many of these, the abnormalities. Yeah, we have just stored research forever. The Overlord's already busy getting us our new worlds. Pledge secret fealty to have this one as our new Overlord. That's an interesting one. Of course it's not going to happen because I'm very happy with my current Overlord, and with all my influence spent,
We will cure their ignorance.
we will cure their ignorance. Now, of course, they will probably take back our system for a while, although they don't seem to have any fleets nearby. My allies will soon rush in, and then this entire area. In fact, this should destroy this empire, which is what I want, because I want all this space to myself. It's been a weird run so far. We're such a tiny malicious empire. We've reached tier 3, which is the highest tier we can get in our vassal status, meaning now we're getting plus 40% research. So even though we are paying off 30%, we're actually getting more than we would normally get as a free empire. Our caches get even more tech, which has been fantastic. I just have one science ship now, just getting the caches, and we can get some rare ones. We also have a new type of science vessel, which decreases accuracy, fire rate, and base ship speed of any system piloted... Sorry, any ship with a AI system in the system. So that's really good. Yeah, so far, this Origin just seems like an utter powerhouse, and I didn't really expect that, gotta be honest. But, yeah, oh, yes! Other new, Enclave, hello there! I really want to see what your thing is like. Oh, it's all scrappy, and I love that, because you're scrappers, and I love you. And you're weird. And I like that. We've been hearing rumours about the impressive Cabarian Council for a while now, and we're pleased to make your acquaintance. For a nominal contribution of credits, we, the conglomerated Potterers, offer premium salvage services, from engine upgrades to scrapping fleets. Whatever your needs, you can count on us. And to ensure that we start off in your good graces, how about a small gift to show our commitment to customer service? Ooh, that's a lovely gift. Thank you. Hello. So we can scrap fleets. We can have ships surprise and scrap to bring them to the system. Okay. That's this system, correct? Yep, cool, cool. And what reclaimed vessels do you have? Huh. From the Sovereignty and Unidentified Empire. This will occupy the salvage for some time. We will be able to purchase other reclaimed ships for 2 years. So we can buy ships as well for energy. That is really interesting. I don't know if I'm going to have any use for you yet, but that is fascinating. So if other people sell their ships, we can then get them from you. See, this is why I like staying mostly spoiler-free for patches. I read the basic patch notes so I understand the new mechanics, at least what I'm looking out for, but then I stay mostly free after that. Also, I've realised you're about to run into a non-occupied system. How about you turn around just in time? How did you get past that? You didn't even trigger the fighting. I'm just mocking you at this point. The war is over. We are victorious. Now, One weird thing we could do is go after this, but they're holding off the purifiers. Can I even afford? Oh, I could afford their homeworld. Oh, all the homeworlds. All of the homeworlds could be ours. Or I could claim all this. This is such a ridiculous start. I don't know how I'm going to title this video at this point. It's going to be all nice and everything, but now it's like, this is ridiculous. The origin is overpowered. I'm loving it because it's stupid and probably going to be balanced later on. Oh, that's great. Okay, that's what we're doing.
We go to war.
Overlord, fetch! Okay, so once again, one of the situations, I've just run out of food, and now rather than it instantly fixing itself once I got food back, we're now undergoing a problem. So right now we have minus 10% happiness and 20% growth reduction. This would have got more and more severe as time went on, until eventually, whoa. That is pretty horrendous. All upgraded buildings are downgraded, all offensive armies are disbanded, 50% of military ships are disbanded, as I belched mid-sentence there. Well then. That is horrendous. So now it's going to take a while for it to go back to normal. I bought the food a bit too late, so I really need to start using the monthly trades, which, as people know, is one of the things I always say I should do, but never do. But yeah, need to start doing that once I have enough resources. In fact, I might just sell all of my alloys then. I'm not really using them at the moment for anything but habitat, so sure, I'll do that, and hopefully that's enough to buy 60 food a month. How's that going to pan out? Okay, there we go. As we get these new worlds, I'll make sure to turn some of them into agri-worlds. Well, there we have it, one of the new megastructures, the Orbital Ring. An Orbital Ring is a starbase variant that forms a band encircling the planet, providing defense and additional specialization. This is actually something I'm really looking forward to. It's very similar to the gigastructural engineering thing, and yeah, just looks amazing. So going for this right now. The war is over, we now control this whole section here, which means finally we have access to an actual trading route, so we can start getting all that in, which is good because we're now going with Mercantile. Now on top of this, I've just grabbed Lord of War. I have not done any of the mercenary enclaves at all yet, but they're actually ones you have to create yourself, and they just seem fascinating to me. So I'm going to build up some corvettes. I think I need to have a fleet size of 50. Yep, with an admiral. Then I'll make a mercenary group, and I'm going to put it right here. So that is the plan for that. Now, in terms of the ring, which I want to make first, though... there we are. Orbital ring is 1,000 alloys and 50 influence. Where is our homeworld? There it is. So now adding a ring to our homeworld of Coberia. The council advances ever further. So much so, our Overlord should now be worried because the Overlord is now only superior, tech-wise, rather than overwhelming, because we're getting constant tech caches. That's annoying, I'm sending a scientist over there. Well, another cache is over here as well, so what I need to do is set up a trade route as soon as possible. So we'll do there, 1, 2, 3, 4, plus the extra one. So that's what I'll do. Also, it means we now have this in a enclave area, which is always good. Lots of stuff, and suddenly I actually need my alloys. Thankfully, I'm getting loads from my Overlord, and as we advance, we can just start to push towards that a little bit more. Things are looking very good for our Empire. Very, very good indeed. So once again, we are at war with Primus, our neighbours to the west. Getting very scarily close to the despoilers here, but still, once we have this, this should be the end of this Empire, since we are going to take out this world and Sol, which I've only just realised, yep, this is Earth. Earth's a tomb world. Wow, they must have got desperate to move on to a tomb world, right? I guess they are extremely adaptive. Ooh! The roaches are here, adaptive and tomb world preference. With some extra happiness. That is a fantastic species. I'll uplift as soon as we get Sol. I think I already have the tech for that. If not, I'll get it soon because my tech is doing great. Almost at 2k, which admittedly I have done better at this point, but we just have unlimited stored research at the moment thanks to all those events. Okay, so apparently this is a thing which happens. This is why staying spoiler-free is so much more fun. A broken empire. With no great leader to hold them together, the Holy Empire has dissolved into several parts, with each claiming their right to rule over the old empire. Without the strength or legitimacy of old, however, their hold over their vassals has all crumbled to nothing. With the desperate parts of the old empire fighting over the throne of the Holy Empire, their old subjects are trying to find their way in their now independent future. Wait, am I no longer a vassal? Oh. Gain a subjugation against Holy Empire and all its vassals for 30 years. No, we're too weak to fight right now. We can just make them vassals later on normally. I'm not going to do that because I guess that's going to make them all very upset with me. Yeah, so that's like the main one it's split into. Who am I even fighting with then now? Do you still exist? The original? Oh, Lord, the original exists as just a single little blob. There are so many things here. Well, free once more then. Well, that sucks for us. We're about to start losing alloys and consumer goods. Can we end this war, please? We're not... Do we still have allies? Okay, you're still... Okay, good. You still have a good enough fleet? Good, okay. You still have the fleet. You're still going to help me out, right? You're still at war. You're still going to do things good. So this war's going to be fine. Well, desperate times, I guess. Now it's time to consider how we're going to sort things out. On the upside, our ring is finished. Yay! At least tier 1, we can't currently upgrade it to tier 2 until we have Star Fortress tech, which I think we're actually getting currently. So, orbital anchorage, orbital shipyard, planetary defense guns, planetary defense batteries, planetary defense hangars. Do they do anything to the actual world, or is it just... No, it's basically just acting like a starbase. Okay, so that's what the rings are for. Still very cool. Still definitely going to use them a lot. I was hoping maybe it'd give us more districts. I'm only getting this district because I'm swapping them over right now to try and solve all the problems I'm currently having. Okay, refugees are good. More pops are always good. Yeah, so our allies are focusing... They are currently at war with one of their... Well, with everyone. But they're still focusing on our original war, so... Good to know that perhaps their last thing they're going to do is going to be in service of us. Oh, look at that! Our ally has made a hyper-relay. Though useless on its own, a chain of hyper-relays allows fast travel between adjacent systems. And it ends over here. One of the new megastructures. I guess we should probably be friendly then still? And look, there's even Fanatic Purify as well. They broke into so many different types of Empire. So right now, I'm finally building up my own fleet, but what I really need to do is figure out what I'm going to do with the mess just to the north of us. Now, these fellows really hated us, but I've bribed them, so they're now more friendly. So I'm hoping they'll open their borders to us soon. Maybe. Thank you. Could I perhaps subjugate you? Would you be okay with this? Almost. Huh, I could get my very first vassal. Protectorate. Darn it. Our tech's too far ahead. Now, I would like to actually integrate you, but I guess that's going to be, yeah, a huge no. So it's all, what do I really want out of this? I don't really know what I want. Okay, so I don't really want holdings. Yeah, you can have my sensors. I don't really mind about that at all. You're almost accepting now. I definitely at least want the holdings, so I really want to test those out. So, honestly, I want a couple of those, thank you. Yeah, you can have full diplomacy. I don't really mind if you don't vote with us. Expansion is currently allowed. You really don't want to be our protectorate, do you? So how do I force vassalization status? Okay, so now you can just go straight there. Whoa. That's a problem. How about you guys? You hate us, but what happened if I tried to propose subjugation? Obviously, you wouldn't accept because you hate us, your hostile attitude. I'll figure out someone. So right now, I'm finally building up my fleet, and it's time to figure out what we're actually going to do with this chaotic section of the galaxy. So, when it comes to vassalization, now, after bribing them, for instance, these fellows actually quite like us, I could quite easily have them as a subject. Although they, by default, don't accept, if we start giving them stuff they want, they will just accept it, or we could go to war and force it upon them. However, they do have loads of defenders, so it'd be nice if this one joined willingly. The empire next to us is very weak now, because we've been at war with them over and over and over again, so we could probably just force vassalization on them. I think that's what I'll do. So our first vassal is going to be a one of war. Oh wow, I need to sort out all the trade value, don't I? Now I've actually got these lines connected. Yeah, there's a lot we need to do. There's a lot we need to do to fix this messy, messy section of the galaxy. Also, we have a lot of different species. I think I probably will go down the synth route during this playthrough because it is becoming a mess, and I'm not a xenophile, so I'm not going to be able to do the mixing one. Okay, yeah. Can all my forces please head on over here? That'd be great. We are already strong enough to fight them, so I want to see what happens then after the war. How do we choose what type of vassal that... You have equivalent tech to us? Well, First Empire, which has kept up with us. Well done, considering we had such a good start.
New technology discovered.
Okay, we uplifted the roaches. This means we're going to get loads and loads of influence. Wow, yeah, absolutely loads of it. So now we can expand and grab all this, which is obviously what we wanted the whole time. So this is our territory now. Gonna go and grab that world as well. We'll make this empire a vassal. Our fleet's now here. They're already... Yeah, they're just broken. We've been at war with them. Yeah, the Hive's been at war with them. They've just been beaten over and over again. We want them to be our vassal.
We go to war on ignorance.
So let's just grab everything they have. Grab this little section first, then go for their star bases, which I assume are probably more towards their core, actually.
System charted.
Shouldn't be too difficult to fight, right? Since we are just so much ahead of them. Yeah. I am making my very first mercenary group. So these corvettes I made specifically for this job, they have nothing on them. They were almost free. So I just made 50 of these things. I think that was a smart thing to do. We are debating whether or not to set up the Armada as an independent mercenary enclave. The proposal, first put forward by the fleet commanders, would result in us losing control of the fleet. We would also be responsible for providing them with a sizable investment in energy credits and alloys. In return, they would give us a number of shares in the company that would come in the periodic dividends and special privileges. They assure us that in our time of need, they will always be ready to fight for us and our money. Jeez, that's expensive. Deal. So that's them then. Ooh, look, they have a thing. Oh, I love it. It's all the different ship types. So we have the plant one, for instance, over there. I think this is humanoid or mammalian, one of the two. Oh, that is super cool. Do we still have control of the system? Yes, we do. Wow. Mercenary garrisons need more trust. They currently don't have a fleet to rent out. Wish to hire ground troops. Ooh, they'll increase our navy capacity for a while. That's really good for later on. As our patron, we want to help you build a bigger fleet. We're inclined to share technology with you. We'll share technology. This can only be done once every 10 years. It increases how much they like us. Sure, you can have our tech. We trust you completely. Yeah, I'm looking forward to them paying us then. Giving us stuff later. Purchase high upkeep. A high upkeep starbase building. Sure, I want to see what it is. You know what? I just want to be really friendly with them. There we go. Fantastic. So what is the starbase building then? Not you, orbital ring, the other one. Mercenary garrison. Effect on allied ships, plus 15% fire rate. Okay, very cool. Very, very cool indeed. Now, I was building a construction vessel here, because since I did also notice, we can now build the hyper relay. So I don't know how to connect them, but what I want to do is have a hyper relay ring from here down to here so we can directly move towards our first vassal. Also, it's just cool. Okay, so as their patron, we can actually get them to recall their fleet. Someone is currently, yep, you are currently hiring their fleet, which is this over here. I want to help you build a bigger fleet. Yeah. We're gonna make you the strongest mercenary group ever. Again, I'm sure this is only the best idea. Just arming these mercenaries as much as possible within our borders. That seems reasonable. The Mercenary Enclave has paid us. Esteemed patron, our recent contracts have been fruitful. We have expanded our civilian operations, and several corporations have hired us for a variety of security and peacekeeping services. While on contract, our operatives chanced upon some valuable scientific research. You'll find it attached along with your regular dividends. Ooh, 13k of every tech. Thank you very much. I like these mercs. This is a really small thing, but I absolutely love it, I've got to be honest. Being able to put down refineries and the tech buildings straight away, rather than waiting until your main building's upgraded, I really like. Don't know how much I like it in terms of lore and setup for worlds. Love it in terms of gameplay, it makes everything a lot easier. Also, we are just powering through now. We had a small economic collapse once, you know, we were no longer a vassal, but now we are just powering through. We just own so many worlds, it's so easy for us to bounce back. Also, look, I have hyper relays. I'll have to make sure to actually watch a ship the next time I create one so I know what's going on. Now, are you finally upgraded? Nope. But close. I want rings around every world. I don't think I'm going to expand further than this. I do want to make more vassals, obviously, because, you know, we're playing Overlord, we're going to be an Overlord. But I think this is just a good amount of space for us. We have loads of worlds already. We can always build habitats if we want to. Yeah, I'm happy being here. Oh, good. And now, we are cyborgs. Into the hyper relay we go. Oh, that's why it's so quick, because you're not having to go to the edges each time. You can just hyper relay, hyper relay, hyper relay. Love that. I mean, I can almost build gateways now, so I don't know how useful these are really going to be. But I love them. That's the thing. I adore how they look, and I adore how they act. They're just very fun. Oh, good, we won. I thought I'd have like a talk to you then. Agreements. Okay, so you. Okay, so currently we have no terms negotiated, and we are losing loyalty. So how do we increase loyalty then exactly? Recently subjugated, Overlord ethics compatibility, and subject opinion. Those are the three things currently making us lose points. We want them to be increased. So will we be able to... Can we change them from Protectorate? I know they're weak, but... I want actual vassals! I want the science vassals, like we were, because they give so many bonuses. Are we too strong to benefit from that? If so, I'm a little bit upset there. But at least we get to mess around with stuff still. And there's still much stronger empires like this, for instance. Okay, so how do we get that then on you? I guess propose subjugation. If they say no, then we go to war like we always do. They are overwhelming to us right now, though, which is worrying. Hey, do you want to join us, even though you're very strong? You're not actually massively off joining us. That's weird. Distance is higher than I expect, though, because we're not right next to you. Just this little section here. Interesting. Oh, I love these. So extra minerals from miners, extra energy credits from technicians, unity bonuses, we get extra consumer goods, extra alloys. That's just fantastic. So it's a pretty generic kind of capital, honestly. It's got a bit of everything. Also, I am going to go ahead and do this. Expensive, but sure. Super capital. We don't have a science one, which is a shame. Maybe we'll get a science one later, but hopefully by then I can also just upgrade the ring. So, I guess for now, I'd probably want more Unity. It's one of the few worlds actually producing a decent amount of Unity. Although saying that, our Nobles have been really good. We have Nobles on every single world, and they're producing the bulk of our Unity, surprisingly. I don't really have Unity worlds. It's all just our Entertainers and Nobles. I don't know which one I want here. Maybe Alloys. It'd only be +7, though. Okay, so these are going to be much better on specialized worlds, so I need to make sure our worlds are specialized to get the most out of this. Now, does this actually count as one of our star bases? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and currently it's saying we only have 9, so nope, it's fine. We can have as many as we like. I want something, so for now, let's just go with the orbital filing system. And then, hangars. So this empire is actually stronger than us in terms of fleet power, the Hive. They do love us. And although they wouldn't accept anything else, well, actually I could make them a normal vassal, they will happily become our bulwark. Now, the reason is, by default, I have to pay them 30% of their basic resource. So likely this will cause an economic crash when I first start this. I probably, yeah, I can't get them to feed me at all. Maybe as we become more loyal, and they become happier, I can try to negotiate for better terms for me. Right now it's definitely more on their side, but of course this is a peaceful takeover right now. We want at least 1 holding. I mean, I'd love 2, but sure. This, yeah, I have no idea how much of an economic crash this is about to cause. I can only imagine it's going to be terrible. Let's find out. Oh, Lord, that is bad. Thank you, mercenaries. Still, so now we have a super vassal over here, the Hive. There we are, our bulwark. Once they become loyal, and they are gaining loyalty every month, I will start to gain more stuff. Ooh, hello. And then I can build all of... Wow, there's so many holding choices. So that one needs to be a science one. Mining drones produce -2 minerals and for the subject and 3 minerals for the Overlord. Is that going to be for everyone? Like the entire... I'm assuming just the world, not the entire empire. So we can steal their minerals, steal their energy. There's also ones which help them. Okay. Amenities for the subject and unity for the Overlord. Gives them aid workers. Satellite campus. Interesting. And this is the garrison, which I built on me before. However, nobles. Each noble provides +2 stability in the Overlord's capital. Ministry of Truth. Overlord propagandists turn unity into influence for the Overlord. Well, we're going to need more minerals because that's really messing us up. So I'm going to see if it's going to be just for this world or it's going to be for all of their worlds. I mean, I doubt it, right? I mean, it's kind of insane. Well, we'll find out soon enough. Oof, my economy is tanking fiercely, though, so I need to fix this as soon as possible, please. So, I've negotiated with our friends over here, which really hate us. So, now I have up to 3 holdings. And I'm giving them a little bit of tech. It doesn't really matter too much, because they are producing so little research. And hopefully, eventually, I can make them loyal. I'm going to try and build all the loyalty buildings. I would like to see if I can make even this empire, which absolutely hates us, because we have just complete opposite ethics, to actually like us at least a little bit. Now, thankfully, with this empire, they love us, even though we are stealing minerals from their homeworld, because it turns out it's just the homeworld. Things are looking just fine. Now, later on, I would love to add more holdings, but I doubt that's going to pass through. Yeah, especially since right now, relative power is actually on their side. That's right, they're the stronger empire out of the 2 of us. But as I build more battleships and everything, I can hopefully force more holdings so I have more control over the Hive. And yeah, I quite like the systems at the moment. Not being able to force certain things is weird. And I don't know if I'm going to continue to like it, but first impressions are at least it's interesting. But I do have, I will admit, there is a bias right now it's new and shiny. We'll see how I feel in a few more hours or a few more games. So the Hive has now successfully converted fully into a bulwark, giving them loads of defense platform bonuses and starbase bonuses at the cost of their basic resources. And these get more severe as they level up. They get some basic tech. And this is for us. Our starbases are cheaper and upgrade faster, which is lovely. Bulwark Watch. The Overlord's relay network will provide the following effects if connected to this subject's capital. Well, that's pretty good. Minus crime. And then, friendly ships in own systems, plus 100% shield points. What? I'm assuming that's for them, not for us, because that would be crazy if that was for us as well. Yeah, definitely for them. Okay, well that's really neat. They're going to be super strong. Rank 2, they definitely get certain techs. And then admirals gain one of the random traits. So their admirals become stronger. And then bulwark admirals. Admirals with a bulwark trait can be traded with the Overlord, so then they can sell us their super admirals. The final version, they can definitely get a citadel. Add ship design, which is a type of construction vessel. And then bulwark disintegrator field. Hostile ships in own systems. It slowly destroys them. Daily hull regen minus 0.3%. Unyielding tradition tree completed, an extra 0.2%. That is really interesting. Okay, it's not the most useful for us, but that is a really cool specialization. Not good for us though, but cool. Okay, so I was wrong. They haven't actually finished converting. I just finally got a chance to actually look at what it does, so that's all. The Giga Mall. Moving all shopping and trade facilities onto the orbital ring means our clerks can facilitate more business more effectively than ever before. Come on, hurry up and finish up. I want to add this thing, because that's going to be fantastic. There we are. So, there it is. That's +1 amenities from clerks, which is actually quite nice, and plus 5% additional trade value for the entire world. Now, there is another one I got recently, which is adding an extra district slot. I'm tempted to swap out the orbital filing system for that one. I don't know which one it is, though. I'm not used to any of these, and right now my dyslexia is hitting me in the face. Or maybe I didn't actually get the tech in the end. I saw the tech, perhaps. Either way, that's something I'll probably swap out later. But for now, this is the ring. It's a 7k ring. I absolutely adore it. And it's going to increase the trade value of our world. Which is good. It's 141 right now. It's probably going to be more later. At the moment, it doesn't really have much trade value stuff, and I'm probably going to be changing that around. I've also started to build more rings around the other worlds, although currently they are only at their starter phase, as I increase our hyper relay. So I want it all the way down to here, then I also want it all the way around here as well. So our empire is nice and easy to get around in. Why are you all the way down there? Okay, I'm going to be going to war soon to force vassalization on one of our neighbours, and it looks like our ally is about to try and take up these fellows instead. Well, that's really irritating, so I'll wait until you're done with that. Yeah, I'm going to war with these fellows. I should be strong enough anyway, it's not too much of a big deal, but I have renegotiated our contract. Because they do like us a lot more now, we've managed to negotiate this, so Overlord conflicts all. So if I go to war, they also go to war. They're actually stronger than us right now, so our bulwark will do its job. So if I move here, I think this is the easiest way to get to their capital, right? No, because this is controlled by the Union, who don't currently have open borders with us. Oh, you actually managed to get a couple of them back. Apparently after the split, 2 of them became vassals again. So if I declare war on you, I am declaring war on a lot of empires, annoyingly. Very weak ones, though, so I think I'll be okay. Yeah, I'll be fine. Okay, so our fleet then needs to move over here so we can get into their territory as soon as possible, please. Kind of wish I made the relays in this direction. Now building the habitation modules, which will increase how many districts the world has. Now here's the thing I didn't know. You can have multiple of these because they're modules, not buildings. I mean, the clue's in the name, but still. This means our home world is going to have multiple extra districts. We have repeatables, they do not. Our science is overwhelming them. And our allies are on the way as well with their ground forces. Or maybe they're not. Well, good to know the AI is still the AI. I just got paid once again by the mercenaries, and now we are pushing as much as we can towards this. So this is all to do with the mercenaries, and it's kind of interesting. This one here, having no hired mercenaries, is banned. Going at war without any hired mercenaries is banned. It's just fantastic. But most importantly, it increases our capacity for them, which is what we want because they're fantastic. So I may save up influence just to try and push this forward even more. I'd love to have an extra one, even if it is a bit silly. They are fantastic. They've been giving us so much tech and so much energy. They're a protectorate? I didn't... Okay, so that's interesting. Ah. Okay, so I didn't actually ask for a protectorate, I asked for a tributary. The subject will pay 30% of their monthly basic production to their overlord. Okay, then it's fine. So I guess that's just how they do tributaries now. They just default to giving you a chunk of that. So there's no chance they're ever going to be loyal to us. They absolutely hate us. They are fanatic spiritualists. We are fanatic materialists. They are xenophobes, which obviously means they just don't like us. But at least now they are paying us for the greater good. How's the other empires doing? Finally loyal. Yeah, we're giving them loads of tech. We're still at plus 6k now. And that's finally made them loyal. Now, I doubt I can do anything to them. I would love to upgrade them to something else, but it's just not going to happen. Even with all that tech being fed to them, it's just... They're just such a weak empire. The Hive is incredibly powerful, so I'm glad about that at least. Kinda wish they were the tech version, but they do not want that. As you can see. Going to war again, this time actually looks like the Hive is helping. We're attacking the Republic, which is directly on their borders, to turn them into a tributary. Our influence spreads. Now, the Despoilers are actually starting to lose now against the Foundation and their combined forces, since all of these are in an alliance. So, good to know the Despoilers won't be a permanent problem. The Great Khan has awoken, and these fellows keep on turning to a vassal, then back to a protectorate. Then back to a vassal, then back to a protectorate. They are right on the cusp of being useful to us. My allies are doing a great job. The really worrying thing is I'm almost at 7k tech now. I had loads of bonuses early on, admittedly a smallish empire, but doing well enough. Not the best I've ever done, certainly not the worst by a long shot. And the core over here, who's being dismantled at the moment, is superior to me tech-wise. So well done the AI for not only keeping up, but being superior to me with such a huge empire. We have to expand our influence to make sure we stay on top, and of course, the Hive is now our enforcer. And doing a good job of it, apparently. It's just nice to see the AI doing my bidding for once and doing it properly. Esteemed patron, the company is going through difficult times. We lost several civilian clients, and various of our other operations ended in costly failures. We are setting up a restructuring plan that will cut expenditure across the board, and we'll be letting some of our staff go. Rest assured that we work tirelessly to bring you your dividends, and that this misfortune is only temporary. Only 1,000 this time. You're fired. See the board about your severance package. Ruler dies. Let us help instead. Oh, we gain influence for that. Well, yes, please. Sure, 1,000 energy is nothing, and gaining more trust with these fellows is always lovely. Where are your fleets? Are you... Man, the other empires are constantly hiring out my fleets. Not one point have I just seen them just chilling here anymore. Huh. We can do more damage against the Great Khan if we want from these guys. That's awesome. We could ask them to recall their fleet. I'm going to increase the size of their fleets. Because eventually I will recall them, and I'll use them for some kind of war. So at that point I want them to be as big as possible. The other mercenaries, however, are very, very good. Well, this is clearly a bug. Apparently, defenders of this war, which I'm about to initiate, is myself. Why would I be warring on myself? I don't have a defensive pact with this empire, obviously. But even if I did it... Wait, no, that makes no sense. What happens right now if I declare war against myself?
We will cure their ignorance.
No, I am now fighting my protectorate. Okay, so I've probably skipped a lot of the bugs so far because they've been quite minor, but this one, I am at war with my own bulwark. So I can't go to war with them because that's never fully... Okay, well, I'm gonna have to restart the game. I've made it more confusing. They're now my vassal. But all those other little weird things are still there. However, I'm allowing myself to integrate them. Because we still want that little bit of territory. Do we really not have... Yeah, we don't have a neutron star or a pulsar in our territory, and the ones I can see around us... Well, you're not going to trade, are you? Because AIs never trade systems. Yeah, minus 1,000, it's impossible. I could give them anything and they wouldn't accept it. Even systems myself. The problem is now I have so many of these, I am losing loyalty with the one I really like. Okay, can you please... pledge loyalty for a while and I'll give you resources. There you go, you like resources. Then eventually I'll integrate them, which will give me their neutron star. Also, I don't even know what's going to happen once we integrate them with all the other weirdness with this empire. We have finally found our precursor, the Cyberx Central Nexus, which is good timing actually, because now we can rebuild it since we are now building megastructures. The very first one I'm building currently is the art installation, since we are having some issues with amenities and that fixes that. But now as we get 10,000 alloys we can keep on building up all these ring sections, which is always a lovely thing indeed. Also currently we have relaxed nobles. Because everyone's unloyal to me anytime I have a holding now, I'm just going brutal. All of our holdings now are a lot less friendly. The Ministry of Truth and the Noble Chateau. I'm also buying some reclaimed vessels from the scavengers when I can, so occasionally you might end up seeing a mammalian or random other ship mixed in with all our humanoid ones. The admirals really are very strong for our bulwark. Shield hit points in friendly systems, extra damage in friendly systems, it is really, really good. And even extra evasion. Well, I don't think we needed that 4 times. Oh, I guess because all the different empires hit. Wow, okay. Today we have edged ourselves further into a record of unparalleled galactic splendor, with the linking of our hyper relay network to the kingdom of, to the pious, to the Valyrians, to the holy, and to the kingdom. Our citizens may now venture into those neighbouring systems without let or hindrance. The kingdom, in turn, now welcome the embrace of our influence. They too shall benefit from the bounteous culture which defines our own magnificent star systems. Basically, I just finished connecting this piece here. So all this is now one, and soon that'll happen again, since we're about to connect our bulwark to ourselves as well. That does go to the capital, doesn't it? Excellent. My forces are breaking through here. The allied forces are all attacking from the underside, whilst the rest of their forces are now moving in. It won't be too long until Prime Core is just yet another tributary of the glorious council. Meanwhile, the Ringworld site is underway, and the quantum catapult is already somewhat working and looks horrendously terrifying. Again, while I love being spoiler-free, that is so cool. What's the effects? Reduce time spent missing in action while we own hyper relays. Huh. Calculations have shown that even the scant few lenses installed at precise locations around the star can channel enough energy to enable semi-volatile trajectories across interstellar space. Can they? No known destination. Well, I don't quite get how it works just yet, but hopefully soon we'll be able to use it properly.
New technology.
I do kind of wish that Stellaris was a little bit better at highlighting things the first time you use them, so I've just missed this point here. So, catapult fleet. As you can see, we can now fire our fleets from the catapult elsewhere in the galaxy. So I'm going to send a fleet over, and we're going to do that. We could have done that in the first phase as well, though of course it would have been even less accurate. We are upgrading it as we go. This will allow us to throw our fleets all everywhere, honestly. So when the endgame crisis arrives, we will be able to deal with it nice and quickly, along with our relays and everything else. We should have very good coverage of the galaxy. I do need to consider building up our fleets properly soon. We are building loads of alloys and everything else, so it's not really a big deal. I have now finally caved, and we are now a feudal society. So, one thing I don't like is that your subjects cannot have the following agreement terms: expansion prohibited, do not join subject wars, and limited diplomacy. I don't like always joining the subject wars, but honestly I was kind of going with that anyway this time round, so it's not too bad. But because of that, as you can see now, everyone is becoming very loyal to me. Everyone will love me. And hopefully the core will be strong enough we can actually turn it into something other than just protectorate or tributary. Though, honestly, just the bulwark itself has been so useful. They have just clobbered the entire galaxy in our name. Clobbered. Yep, that's the term I wanted to use there. Oh, look at that. So first of all, there is a limited range on this thing. I was aware of that, but I thought it'd be a bit further. Second of all, the further out you get, it seems the more inaccurate you get, which is really fun. I'm just going to lob you in this general direction. It's going to be somewhere here. Who knows exactly where. Okay, it's waiting to be thrown. Off it goes. Okay, it made it as far as it possibly could. Perfect. Ooh. Why is it still...
New technology discovered.
What is that circle? What? Game? Why are you saying I can catapult anywhere now? That's not a catapult here, is there? Oh, my allies have built one! I just catapulted from one, then I'll catapult to the next to help out, sure.
New technology discovered.
Where will I land this time? All the way down here. Well, sure. In the end, all will serve. That is so much resource. I'll try and make you more happy later. Oh, you're a true tributary. Okay. You see, I want you to be that. Do you like... Why does no one like that? Nobody likes that type of vassal. I guess maybe materialists will. Yeah, they're all happy with Bulwark. And they're all pretty happy with just Vassal, but none of them are happy with any of the others. Yeah, I guess I'll have to find a very specific type of empire to have that. What are you? No again. Oh well, that's loads of base resources, and currently we are actually making a... If I go over here, a matter decompressor. So that's all the tech we need, so now we can just focus on making more and more ring worlds. In the meantime, I guess really we should try and go toward one of these two empires. Yeesh. Oh no, not this again. So, for some reason or other, if I try and go to war with the alliance over here, I apparently go to war with myself. Sure. How about you? Okay, you I can go with. I could try that right now. You are very weak compared with the others around us, and we have a lot of our allied forces right next to you already. So, you know what? Sure. I'm just going straight back into war right now.
We will cure their ignorance.
We will cure their ignorance. Now jumping one of my construction vessels over here. How far did you just get anyway? I'm now using these catapults to kind of bounce around the galaxy from one catapult to the next. Thankfully, there's no cooldown with this. I just wanted to go over there so I can finish off the hyper relays as well. There's currently a hyper relay going to here. I'm going to connect it to here, and then this one is going to bounce all the way over here and connect to this segment. So then all of the empires, I think, bar this one, is then fully connected, and I'll connect that one like this. Now, if I was just closer to the center of the galaxy, I wouldn't need to bounce from one catapult to the next. One catapult can easily cover the entire galaxy, but I'm right in the corner. So, sadly, that's not really what's actually happening. Oh, so also ward the Foundation. They're the ally. Okie dokes. That's no problem. Already making some good progress. And our allies are now moving up as well. Oh, wait, no. They are the Foundation. I don't even know who I'm fighting anymore at this point. Our beautiful roads continue to be built. We are now connected to the Holy Republic. So next up then, I need to build some hyper relays over here as well. Oh, there's already one there, fantastic, so I don't even need all that many. In fact, no, that's not connected. Okay, yeah, so this way would be the easiest, I think. So that connects to there. We just need to finish off this section here, and then that connects to the core. I find the hyper relays really satisfying. Again, don't even know how really good they are, to be perfectly honest, especially in comparison to gateways, which I do need to build, but I also really want to save up influence at the moment for things, so it's one or the other to me because of the influence cost, so I think I'll stick with what I've currently got, just the big hyper relay network. And so we are victorious. Almost the entire galaxy is now united under our banner, mostly, to be fair, as tributaries. So as soon as I have the influence, which won't take too long, now I have will to power on, I'll turn the machines into our miners. We have the hive here as our soldiers, and we ourselves, just our own brain. Which is funny, because I couldn't say that then. So our brain's a little bit faulty. But you know, it's our own, that's the important thing. The despoilers are kind of just there now, because they wouldn't dare attack this confederation. Because we'll all attack you back and destroy you. They're our pets. We're like angry little doggos. Angry, planty doggos. Well, that's irritating. A dumb bulwark has declared war on the Shard. Well, no, they haven't officially declared war on the Shard. What they've actually done is build on their borders. You know, the thing which isn't allowed in this fallen empire. So now, we're testing out the relay here by bouncing our fleet along all the way down to here. The rest of our fleets are also moving back, though it's going to take a while to get there. I have made a claim on their homeworld. I doubt I'll get it in this fight, because it's way too early, but we'll give it a shot regardless. Sure, the Fallen Empire may be technologically advanced, but so are we. Oh, no tech that time. Also, we are kind of countering them because we're mostly ignoring their shields. Glorious. We advance! In the name of the Council. We are now bombarding their worlds. Everything's gone incredibly well. Our allies are now actually crushing the enemy. Look at that, almost 100k fleet. Well done. I don't even know how much they needed me to help out, honestly. I'm sending the rest of my fleets over here. We're going to attack the other Fallen Empire soon, which is just the Machine Empire, which is significantly weaker, with much weaker ground forces, I believe. Yes, indeed. And we're finishing off our Cybrex and our Xenomorphs over there. Now, one thing which I've just looked at is this: networked dominance. The relay network can be used to more effectively impose our will over the colonies. So any world with a hyper relay network in the system, like over here, now gets +3 stability. However, if they do not have said relay, they do not get the bonus. Also, we are now struggling really badly with overpopulation. I do have 2 more ring worlds now up and running. I'm just sending off a colony ship to get this other ring section, and once I have 300 influence, I will be building yet another ring section over here. And of course, once we go to war with this Fallen Empire, we will be given a ring world as well, so it's all going to be fine. All is well and good and looking fantastic for the Empire, even if I am losing loads of research right now, because finally, our resource producers are now being converted. It's going to take a long time, and it's eating away at my influence, but it's fine. They are already giving us 30% of their basic resources and 15% of their advanced resources, of course, just being alloys because they are our machines. So we have our Bulwark, and we have our resource producers. All we're missing is science, and it doesn't look like any of our empires would be willing to do that, sadly. You'd think you would, actually. Oh no, but you're too weak. Yeah, you're just too frail. How much tech are you producing? So I can't actually get tech from you if you're just a protectorate. I can ask for basic resources at least, and you would accept this. Why? Oh, you're absolutely terrified of me. That's why. I mean, fair enough. Okay, I've landed on the core. Between our machines and our Xenomorphs, we're making easy work of that. And so we're now also going to go to war with Alpha Refuge. And Prime Corps will actually join us as well, since part of their deal was they'll now join any offensive battles I cause. This one might be a little bit closer just because these fleets are a bit smaller. But once again, we should be countering... Oh, no, I forgot I need to activate all this. Well, I am a terrible commander, as per usual.
New technology discovered.
Come on, ground forces. And by ground forces, I meant to say strikecraft. Well, that was dumb of me. Got a bit shredded there at the start, thanks to me not having half of their bonuses on. How strong is that? Okay, cool, yeah, we're still plenty strong enough to take out the station. Everything is fine. It was totally intentional. We need that ring world as soon as possible, please. Where will the ground forces end up? Not in... Oh, they can split. I didn't know that. Okay, so when you fire multiple fleets, sometimes the fleets will split. Yeah, I thought they'd all at least land in the same place. Apparently that is not true. Whoops. Well, at least we have the normal lines to get there. Oh, though actually what I could do is try it again. Let's go to the catapult again. Hopefully this time I'll actually get where I want to go. All main forces, please return home. And I'm finally making the hyper relay here to fully connect everything. It's weird having the catapult so far out. Do you want to join us? You're looking pretty weak. No, because you're already... No, you are an Overlord. Oh, it's just I'm currently at war. Well, you're all pretty weak. Either you join us or we destroy you. It's your choice, really. I don't mind. Having other species living with our people has caused some friction on the planet, or at least the Ringworld section. Be it cultural differences, xenophobia, or a common misunderstanding is hard to tell. But what is sure is that these small encounters could turn to the worse if we do not intervene. Distract the angry mob! Which one of the worlds is it? Eesh. But why? We've been getting along so well for so long. How many different species I have? I'm a very tolerant empire. I mean, we are authoritarian. We've shown no use of that in evil ways. Some evil ways, but not, all of them. Oh yeah, I did deactivate that for a while since I'm trying to get that last tradition finished so I can get Defender of the Galaxy before the endgame crisis can spawn. So one fallen empire has been completely eradicated, the other one has been just completely defanged. I don't really care about these worlds in the slightest, they can live there as our pets. They are after all a fallen empire, and we do care about that, we just wanted their tech and they wouldn't share. The despoilers are completely nullified because I can't really declare war on anyone without declaring war on everyone. The power of unity. Now, we could start being a bit more mean with our terms and stuff because, well, again, they are absolutely terrified of us right now. And they're also all very loyal. I think there are only a couple of exceptions. Yeah, the Foundation, who I don't even know who you are, and the guilds don't particularly like us, but I don't particularly care. The Ministry of Truth is fantastic, giving us that extra influence. I really should try and get that. Yeah, maybe that's what I should try and do. Have holdings on each of the vassals so I can get more delicious, delicious influence. A ministry overseeing local faiths, news, and political interest groups. With the right prod, everything can run a tad smoother. Just think the correct thoughts, and everything will be fine. I have asked our Shroud-born friends what is to be our fate. They will tell us soon.
Transmission.
Ooh, shrouded. The change foretold by the knowers of the Shroud has arrived. After an unexpected spike of psionic fluctuations, the ship was lost to the Shroud, rising up like a great rippling wave. Space-time itself curled over the ship. For several seconds afterwards, it continued to transmit telemetry. This included a garbled recording of the crew, their bodies shifting from moment to moment, distorting into strange new forms. Since then, an afterimage, or ghost of the vessel, has fleetingly appeared throughout the sector. Studying this phenomenon should allow us to better understand the fate of the ship and its crew. They're not the ships. Apparently it's there, though. Is there a science vessel nearby? I can just jump. Lovely. I was hoping we could actually see the after image. I can't see it anywhere. Maybe you can, I'm just missing it. Either way, we have a lot of other stuff I need to focus on. I'll wait until the science vessel gets there. Also, this is still moving forwards. So there's other things yet to arrive, apparently. Science Ship as concept. That's the name of the thing now. And it's also the Unshrouded ship. Anything unique about it? It looks pretty standard, though terrifying. Our missing science vessel, once thought lost the Shroud forever, has suddenly reappeared, although the dimensions of the ship have been subtly altered. Subtly. This is how it used to look. This is how it looks now. That ain't subtle. Mate. The vessel and its crew are in good shape, describing their experience in the Shroud as something akin to a strange, fragmentary dream. Over time, the crew was able to forge a shared concept of themselves and their environment. As their individual perceptions began to align, the crew inched ever closer to our reality. In effect, they have succeeded in dreaming themselves back to existence. Man, I should have been doing this stuff earlier. With that, every empire, except of course the despoilers, now flies my banner. Question, Foundation. Did I change you so you would actually declare war on things with me? I did, because you're scared of me. Because I want to see if I can just go to war and let all of my various owned empires go to war against the despoilers without me having to help. Because I think that'd be fun. Of course, if I have to, I will. I have multiple 100k fleets at this point. Galaxy, go to war in my name. The Shroud grows quiet once more. The weary river of time recedes into its well-worn course. The changes foretold by the rite of divination have come to pass. Now go in awe as you reflect on the workings of the Shroud. Really? I mean, just try it.
New technology discovered.
Psychers versus amoebas. I mean, that was just weird. That's about travel in the shroud. What is our fate? Once again, we'll ask for the fate one. I do want to see what will happen with the travel via the shroud. A shroud beacon. It was born a shroud tunnel, providing passage to and from this system. Oh. Interesting. I mean, useless to us, considering it's right there, but interesting. Sure, give me another teacher. We need an active spy net. Okay, so I can also help out with spy networks. Okay, well, not all that much use to us right now, but still, pretty cool.
Attack.
Okay, so their main fleet's already down. And because we have a gateway, we can just jump straight here with our Cybrex warforms, so we'll take their worlds. This really isn't much of a fight. The Awakened Empire will fall. Well, that's it. The Awakened Empire is gone. Is there any empire now which isn't under my direct control? Because I thought I'd get the victory screen there, honestly.
New technology.
Both fallen empires have fell. There's the raiders over here, but that's just a mercenary group. Not mercenary, what they're called, marauders. I was going to double check. Because I can't remember how to get the victory screen. It's been so long since I've gone for a normal victory. I mean, the endgame crisis will arrive soon, but I'm not really worried. I was a moment ago, but now we have the fully operational mega shipyard. These are the ships we made just while we were in that one fight. Along with those. So now we have multiple millions of fleet power total.
Engaging hostile fleets. Receiving transmission.
If we cannot control it, then it's not true science. So, all that's left is the fleet over there, which I need my science vessel to get to because it's in a nebula, which is annoying. And that's it, I think, for all non-us factions. I mean, we have essentially won the game. I'm not quite sure why the victory hasn't popped up again. It's been a long time since I've potentially got that, so I'm probably just missing something. Doesn't matter. We're still waiting for the endgame crisis. Peace, order, and tranquility for the entire galaxy. Well, and for some reason it made me jump. Was forced to return to one of our systems because it was within the borders of the Void Riders, but we just destroyed them with that, and I've got to be honest, this DLC, this patch, has had so many little weird things like that, it's been kind of unbelievable.
Receiving transmission.
Like, that made no sense. There's no reason why I should have lost my fleet there. Obviously I didn't lose it, they've bounced away. But like, if I was rushing to do something, that could have really messed me up. There's no reason why that should have happened, right? Or am I just being silly? Is there something I'm missing? Either way, so that's gone. The caravan has just bounced back, because they just tend to do that. They do re-establish. We'll just destroy them again in a second. Yeah, but that's it. Just waiting for the crisis now. If it doesn't arrive in the next 5-10 years, I will just force spawn one of them at random. Okay, Subspace Echoes, the Scourge will be our big bad enemy. Which is kind of annoying because I've actually gone more into shields than anything, but that's fine. On the upside, we have got a lot of energy weapon damage. So, Tachyon Lances, you... Why was I using lasers? Clearly I wasn't paying attention there. So that's really the main type. But then we also want a secondary design, which is going to be just purely for damage. So once again, Tachyon Lance, but this time going with the artillery core, so we just have neutron launchers. We kind of want a mix of the two. With the strike craft, we can nullify most of their damage, since their damage is mostly set up to be missiles and strike craft. Both of those are countered. Don't think we really need any. I mean, I know afterburners are silly on battleships, but we're still going to do that. Another thing I found out, which is now super late and probably a bit too late to be of any real use, you can build gateways in your vassals and territory. So yeah, I've been building hyper relays and vassals all over the place. I'm building hyper relays and gateways all over the place. It is currently 1 AM. Okay, so yeah, also building hyper relays all around here, trying to connect the entire galaxy via hyper relays. All we need to do is connect this section here, then it's just a few little connections we're missing. So that'll be pretty easy to sort out just by ourselves. There we go, that connects that. These are all connected almost to there, so just throw one there. The Great Road around the entire galaxy. So, yeah, all of you need to upgrade into your new forms. I mean, it doesn't make too much of a difference, just because, honestly, they're probably going to die even if they have all that armor, because I haven't been upgrading armor almost at all. So, not the best, but Scourge are really good versus shields. They'll either ignore it or do bonus damage against it, which is obviously pretty pointless to have shields against. Something waits in the Torum system, a veiled passage cut from the fabric of space-time, its horizons rippling with sonic energy. Sensor data is erratic, and the crew of our science vessel reports strange disturbances. Wildly visceral dreams, a persistent sense of being watched, fitful hallucinations. Despite the frustrating lack of useful telemetry, it seems clear we have stumbled onto a tunnel through uncharted reaches. Okay. Can you go through there? Or does it have to be a science vessel? Oh, or is it... Or has someone else built a shroud tunnel? Is that what's actually happened here? Shroud beacon. Aha, it'll spawn a shroud tunnel providing passage to and from the system currently spawned. Okay, so it's just someone else has made one of these. Very cool. No idea who made it, but still, pretty awesome. I'll send a science vessel just in case we can go through it, though I very much doubt it at this point. Yeah. Neat.
Situation.
They are almost upon us. So where is the breach point? It's all the way up there. Huh. Oh good, there's a gateway. That's actually not too bad. Never mind, I was about to say, could there be a more awkward place? Apparently yes, very easily. We can probably stop them before they properly spawn in this time round. And normally I do avoid that these days, but honestly, we're just way too powerful. The Scourge is not going to be able to beat us. There's no real way around it. That's a shame it's like this. Actually, I wonder if we could keep them as pets. We have done that a lot of times, but no, I think just utter destruction this time. Because we've done that so many times before as well. To the normal gateway we go. Oh, no, they've already moved. Oh, that was quick. Could you get there a little bit faster, please? Yep, first wave. We are fully aware of that. The Vanguard are here. Okay, stop still for a second. We do heavily counter them, and we do have Defender of the Galaxy giving us plus 50% damage, so we should be absolutely fine. The problem is the smaller craft like this are actually, in my opinion, the scarier ones. The large craft are more counterable.
hostile station.
And the strike craft going way higher than usual. Okay, that station got destroyed almost instantly. There's one fleet in this space, but there's loads next door. So could you all please sit there next door, next to us? Only one, no, 3 fleets over there. Okay, just sit here and wait for the next fleets to arrive. They should be moving back in defense, I imagine. Okay, most of them are. One of them's moved forwards. Would it be silly to jump some of our fleets ahead to catch that one? Yes, it would. There's way too many here.
Engaging hostile fleets.
Oh look, now the strike craft are lower down again. I have no idea what was going on before. It looked kind of cool.
Fleet lost.
Okay, that's fine. Fleet lost. I'm hoping it was just a small fleet. Yeah, the Corvette fleets. Okay, you're all gone. Still fleets left. Oh, but I do need to deal with that other fleet before it spreads more. Okay, gonna risk it. All of you jump there and wait for him. The rest of you wait where you are. And then we'll move on. We need to destroy them as fast as possible, otherwise the Scourge will still spawn. This is the jumped fleet. They're weaker, but yeah, we just countered them so hard. Their missiles are completely nullified by how much point defense we have. There we go. Then we're doing bonus damage with all the other weapons. You are absolutely fine. You can move forward. There's only 1 fleet left because you've just killed 2 more. There's 1 fleet left over there. Actually, you can beat them. Okay, so I really need to destroy everything, so we're going to do this. That should be it, right? Station destroyed, no enemies. Station destroyed, no enemies. Unless, did they... Are there Scourge somewhere else? Pirate fleet. Maybe I'll get the victory at the end of the month. Oh, come on, I thought it was really efficient then. Do they still... Has it been changed? Do they now always spawn in the second phase? If so, I have lost a lot of ships for no reason, because I just barreled them in just to make sure we killed them fast enough. I wasn't being efficient at all in terms of ships lost. Oh dear. Thankfully we've got loads of space to deal with them though, so... we can build ships very, very quickly. Just stay where you are. Jeez. Okay, we're going to have to systematically and slowly destroy them. Since we're the Emperor now, what we can do at least is a united front. Well, at least the survivors of the reckless first attack can take out one of their big fleets. As I've said a lot of times before, it's the small ships which are the most problem, because the larger ships, especially the queens themselves, are very easy to counter. Strikecraft hard counter them, whereas the smaller ones, they still have quite a bit of damage in their kinetic weapons, and that can cause problems. Now you can't jump annoyingly, so you're just going to sit there. Destroyed 1 fleet so far, but I'm just going to wait for them to split up more. Thankfully, we're not directly next to our territory, and I am building ships incredibly quickly. Our fleet's finally going down over here, but it's killed like 4 of the enemy fleets already, which is fantastic. I'm gonna send it more reinforcements. We've also got a Brood Queen, which we captured, which is cool. It's not particularly useful, but it's fun. There it is. Look at that little brood. Defend the gateway, lads. Just waiting for this to go through fully before we become a lot more aggressive. So take point now works properly when it's not just a normal war. They're all following one of my fleets. All of my allies are sending all of their ships. Hundreds upon hundreds of thousands of fleet power is being added to me. That is just beautiful. In a cynical way, it's just loads of cannon fodder. Most of their ships are things like cruisers and corvettes, but that's fine. Just means we can actually do some damage. Now, sadly, my fleets have been pretty devastated. Well, yeah, they're so much weaker than our ships are, but that is glorious. So we're going to be able to easily take out at least a couple more enemy fleets before moving on. Are you still following? Yep, all of these are also reinforcing us. I've actually got the biggest smile on my face right now. This has never happened before in all the times I've played Stellaris. It actually feels like the galaxy is united. I don't even mind if we lose. Well, this fight anyway. We're going to win overall, but... Such brave, weak little ships. They actually don't have too many fleets left. There are 3 main fleets left. I think clean up all this. And then... Wait. How have you set up shop here with the ancient vault? You know what? Never mind. We're gonna go after their fleets.
Incoming transmission.
We're still slowly being whittled away, but I'm still smiling. I'm just letting everyone catch up, and the just the doom collection of every single fleet is actually starting to get pretty scary. Oh yeah. Probably should have asked for your fleets back, shouldn't I, for this final fight? You know what, I will. I do wish to rent a Well then. So that was just plus 15% damage now versus the Scourge. Well, I wish I knew that was a thing earlier. Well, we do want to rent a fleet, but okay, so recall fleet please, it's a deal. And I'll do the same to you. Then in a short while, we'll be able to rent their fleets. I now realise I'm basically using them as strike craft. That's... How did you get... One of you's got a Fallen Empire ship. How did you get that? Can't see the enemy. It's just a blur. Okay, they have 2 major fleets left. I guess move out and then regroup there. The commandeered fleets have arrived. Wonderful. Though I do only see 1. Don't care. Send them in. So many more on their way. Oh, wish my fleets were a bit slower. They kind of got right into the main fight there. Can I have them all follow the Juggernaut? Because that'd be cool. Well, I suppose if anything's going to bring the galaxy together, it's this threat. Please follow this enemy. This has taken so long. Just fight after fight. Loads of fleets just constantly being destroyed from our allies. But my reinforcements are here now. I'm also making the Imperial Armada, which will just be the finishing touch of all this. Just dealing with all this now. I think they have 1 fleet left somewhere. In fact, maybe they don't. I have just been sitting there and letting them hit us in that system. I did lose the Juggernaut, which was super sad.
Receiving transmission.
I think I've grabbed all their worlds as well, except for this one, which I'll need to bombard. And so the galaxy came together to end the Scourge threat. Oh, yep, they definitely had 1 fleet left. It was just in the storm, so I couldn't see it. Okay, well that fleet's dead. Whoops. This has been taking absolutely ages. It's now 2,386. We get a collection together, we kill a big fleet like this, then we get another collection, we kill another fleet, we lose some of our fleet. Because I'm just throwing them around, because it's just so much fun seeing all the different ships together, but I think this is it. Is that the last one now? Okay, so I need to clear up that. Where's my Imperial Armada? I go there, clear up that, then move over there. Then I think it's finally on to just clearing up the last little bit.
New technology discovered.
I mean, that's just rude. Everything moves so slowly because of the storm. The missiles there being taken down by the green lasers of doom. There goes the Queen. Well, I'll take that as a sign. Let's take out these systems. They won't be able to make another fleet for quite some time, so... Everyone go. Very slowly, I suppose.
Receiving transmission. Receiving transmission.
Just one infested world that we have to destroy.
Receiving transmission.
Oh, is the enigmatic fortress already taken out? Is that why it's not fighting? That makes more sense. I thought it went grey when it was taken out. I'm clearly going insane. Well, begin bombardment, and once it reaches, I think it's 50%. Oh look, now all strike craft underneath. Huh. I wonder if it does that if there's a certain amount of ships in the area to make it look better. I don't know. Which one of you is trying to abduct nothing? And that's it.
New technology discovered.
I have like triple checked to make sure there is no Scourge. They didn't get past this line here, and there are no worlds currently infested, right? I mean, you can even check here. The infested world's cleansed 1, the one we just attacked. Infested world 0. So we have one! I was just hoping it'd say, end of the Scourge, but for some reason it isn't. I can't figure out why. If there is one world infested, well, you know what? It gets to stay infested. Well, that is the end of our first run. And by the way, look at that. It is absurd. It's actually crashed the game once there are that many ships. Just look at the mixture of colours. Every single ship in the galaxy united under our banner. We are the benevolent Overlord that the galaxy needed. We forever will be in charge. And that was seriously fun. So then, my first impressions of Overlord and the new patch. Really buggy. First thing I need to say, elephant in the room. I had to play around a lot of bugs. A lot of the footage of that probably won't end up in the video because most of it was minor. We did see, well, I'm almost certainly going to include the fact I could almost declare war on myself. In fact, I could declare war on myself over here at one point. So that was just bizarre. I just couldn't figure out that. I then ended up at war with the Hive. There were a lot of issues like that, and a few UI things, like the ship's names would go off the side at one point, and just lots of little things. But despite that, which I'm sure will be hotfixed soon, I love the new mercenary system. I wish there was a bit more to them. I like the new vassal system. I think it needs some tweaking balance-wise, and I love the new origin, though it is definitely too powerful. It guarantees a perfect start. Maybe the Overlord shouldn't agree to everything of yours. A lot of potential. Hope it gets hotfixed soon, but I did have an incredible amount of fun, and the thing I actually enjoyed the most in the end was the hyper relays. I just love them. I love the concept of them. I love seeing these roads pop up throughout the galaxy, and the fact you can now build in other people's territory as long as they're allied by the looks of things. I adore that. So, I've had a load of fun. Hope you have too. If you have enjoyed the video, then a like and a comment really does help out so much, and I hope to see you next time, where we're probably going to do at least one more unmodded run before we go to the mods, as they all catch up and get updated with the new patch. And there are still lots of Origins to check out. Thank you so much for watching. I am now finally going to go and get some sleep. Long live the Empress. Ivory Lawrence Robin. Ain't she beautiful? Thank you for watching. Good night.